Welcome back. So this is a continuation of the previous videos. We are still talking about constraints in SQL. So in this video, I would be talking about foreign keys and why we need foreign keys. But as a programmer or as a developer or software engineer, whichever one, before we even dive into coding, we need to always, do something I call work breakdown structure, which is we need to know what we are trying to achieve, why we are trying to achieve it, and how we can go about achieving it. So why do we need foreign key? What exactly is foreign keys? So let's assume that as a student in a university, right, there are courses that a student needs to register for, and students also needs to be organized in the database so we can keep track and list of all the students and what courses they register for. So how do we convert this process into system? We need to have a table that handles students data, right? We also need to have a table that handles the courses the universities offers. So that way students can register for courses and we can keep track of how many students registered for what courses. I'm gonna go ahead and create a course table, right? Create table courses. And the course needs to have something like course ID, right? Course ID. It's going to be an integer data type, and that will be the primary key, right? So what else do we need? We need a course name, right? Course name, which would be a varchar type, and we want to limit the character of the course name to 30. And we also need to be a course location, maybe it's going to be an online course, or if it's going to be a class course, varchar, let's limit that to 15. I think that should be it for the courses. So we have the course ID, or let me just call that the course code, right? So we have the course code, break that down. We have the course name, we have the course location. That should be enough. Um, so where do we go from there? Let's insert some courses into the course table. Insert into courses, course code, course name. There's no magic that I'm doing here. If you have been following my previous tutorials, both on YouTube and Facebook, I've actually covered the basics of creating tables and creating columns and all that. So if you are not familiar with what I'm doing, I will advise you pause and go back to my previous video so you can actually understand how we get here. So moving forward, course location. Then we will need to add some values into those. The values will be, let's say, course 101. The name for course 101 is SQL database. And for the location, let's assume that as an online class. Okay, and so here, before I even insert it, so let me show you why I'm putting this restriction here, varchar 15. It shows that I don't want the character to be more than 15. I don't want it to be. So here I have online class is like 6, 7 plus 5, that's 12, right? If I put another thing here, it means it's exceeded 15, right? If I insert it, it would not insert because I expect whatever the user is going to input not to be more than 15. So same thing here. So that I just thought I would just pitch into that real quick so you see what this thing here does. So here reducing it, and this should insert for us. And there we go, one row inserted. Let's create another course actually and call that course 102. Let's call that advanced C#, which would be an in-class course, right? Okay, so we have that all set up. So we have to, let's just keep 2 courses for now. So if we go and select all the courses we have in the university. So currently the university currently offers 2 courses, which are SQL database and advanced C#, right? So now these are the available courses in the course table, existing courses. So now we need to actually create student classes. Let's go ahead and create those student classes. I'm gonna go ahead and create, sorry, student table, not classes. I was talking about C#. Table student. Okay, of course the student we have student ID, which will be integer data type. Of course that will be the primary key, and we want to make that the identity key as well. Start from 1, increment by 1. And then what else do we have? Student first name. First name will be a varchar. I don't want that to be more than 30 characters. Last name, which will be a varchar as well, and shouldn't be more than 30 characters. What else does student have? Well, student needs to register for course, so we need to actually bind the student table with this course table here. So the student can actually enter the course code that they are trying to register for, and it will actually bind it with the course code the university offers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like student course code. I'll just call that course code as well. I mean, you can name it whatever you want to name it as long as you reference this, but I'll just, for uniformity purpose, I'll just make it course code, which will be an integer data type, and of course it will be a foreign key. References the courses table. Inside the courses table, which column does it references in the courses table? Then it's referencing this course code here. I'm going to copy it and paste it here. So there we go. We have actually bind this column here to the courses table here. So if I go ahead and create that table, we have created our student table. And before I proceed, keep in mind that in the courses table, select all from courses, we have two courses available, course 101 and course 102, right? So I'm going to go ahead and insert into the student table. Don't forget course 101 and course 102. I'm going to use that. Just keep that in mind. So let's insert student's record. Insert into student ID. Let me put a space there so the codes don't look like spaghettis. First name, last name, course code, and we need to put some values into that. Values, student ID. Actually, since it's identity to student, the student ID is going to be auto-generated. We don't even need to put that. The SQL will take care of it. That's why I put the identity here. So first name, let's use Wayne. Last name is gonna be Johnson, and Wayne Johnson is registering for which course? We have course 101 and 102, right? But let's assume that this person is registering for a course that does not exist, 104. Let's see if that will enter the table. So we definitely have an error. So there's a conflict with the foreign key. So it cannot, this 104 cannot enter the table because the course 104 does not exist in the courses table. So that shows that this table has been binded. So let's go ahead and add either 101 or 102. I'll go ahead and add 101. So Wayne Johnson is registered to course 101. Good, affected. Let's put another name. Remy Dennis. Also register for course 101, right? And then let's okay, in currency net keyword values. Remy Dennis values Remy Dennis 101 course code 101. Let's do 102, see what actually happens there. Okay, so but I still want this other people to register for other course. Femi Johnson to register for 102. Okay, so Femi should also register for 101 as well. So it's taking two classes, right? So let's do Hida Rotimi to register for 101, and she's also going to register for 102 as well. So you can see how these students are registering into these courses. Now if I go into the student class, select all from student, let's see what we have there. There we go. We have different students who have actually registered for different courses as well, based on the courses we have available in the university. So now, how do I check which student actually register for student course 101 and course 102? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a join to do the query. I want to write a query that's going to join both student table and the course table, and then give me the list of students that register for course 101. So what I'm going to do is select from students, or what details do I need? I need the names of name, first name, last name, and let me actually query these two tables. The student will be on the top and the courses will be below. So here we have student names here, the course code here. So I want to see which student actually register for course 101. So how do I write that? I'm gonna go ahead and write select first name, last name, course name, and the course location from select all these things from student. So the student has the first name and last name, but where do I get the course name and course location from? Those are in the course classes, right? So I have to join the course table, join courses. So how do I bind them together? On courses dot course code equal to student dot course code. So I'm joining this table, and it should actually check the course code in the course table, courses dot course code, which is here. So let's say 101 equal to students dot course table. So the students table up here, then 101. So whichever data here in the course code in the course table is similar to the course code in student table, I'll bind them together, give me the result, right? So let's run that first. There we go, right? So now if I want to go extra mile and actually get which students register for course 101, I'll just put where courses dot course code is equals to 101. So it will give me the list of only students that register for course 101. You see, there we go. Wayne Johnson registered for SQL database online class, right? Femi James, Hidaru Timi, all registered for SQL database online class. If I want to check which should register for course 102, let's run that query. You see Remy Dennis, Advanced Sharp in class, Femi James, Advanced Sharp, Hidaru Timi. So basically, this is actually the query. In real life, this will be stored in this will be embedded in a stored procedure, and then of course it will be embedded in whatever actions that you are going to click on your user interface. So you can see a button that in the user interface that you actually click, and this is actually the query behind it that is giving you all these selections. So basically this is how foreign keys work, creating multiple tables, two tables, and giving access to each table. So this is actually to one-to-many relationship, actually, meaning one student can have many courses. So there are other type of relationship to one-to-one relationship, one-to-many, many-to-many, which you need to actually have an intermediary table. So but this is like the basic foreign key operations, and I hope this makes sense. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to comment. If you have don't forget to like and share. If you have a question, please drop a comment, and we'll continue in the next tutorial talking about other type of constraints in SQL. Thank you.